I'm not a super measury person, but I will be measuring it, but for now I'm going to put it on the car, and then I'll measure, and I'll like take a mallet and I'll like slide the bar one way or another. So we are prepping to put the sway bar like mounting brackets onto the car. So these are going to be welded on so that way the sway bar can go on. This is the Brad Mayeur kit, but I got it off of 914 rubber. So we're going to start first on the inside of the car, and you can see that this top piece, it's like a half bracket. So it creates the hole with the rest of this divot in the seam here. I'm going to center it over that hole. So I'm going to take my punch and I'm going to hammer in just a little bit so that way the drill doesn't move. Okay, so now I'm going to take the drill and I'm going to drill a little pilot hole through this side so that way I can go around to the back side and drill a thicker hole. Alrighty, so now I'm going to take a bigger drill bit and I'm going to be going through from the opposite side because now I have all the clearance, I have all this space. So now I'm going to be checking how the bolts will fit into it. Come look at this. Okay, so now that those holes are all drilled out and like centered, I put the bolts through them and I put the hardware on like the half bracket on the inside, and then I put this bracket on the outside, and I'm just test fitting it so the bolt is on the outside. Alrighty, so I'm going to put the punch in the very, very center. And this is where there's going to be a 1-inch hole slot, which is where our sway bar will go through. So this plate, I'm just test fitting it backwards, but it'll actually go with the nut facing the inside. So we have to make a big enough hole for the nut to fit through. Oh, I thought we were set. Alrighty. So now I'm drilling the 2 holes, one 1-inch hole for in the middle, and then 1 hole that will fit this nut at the bottom. Alrighty, it fits. Okay, so now that we've tacked that in, we're gonna let it cool for a second, and then I'm gonna undo the bolts to make sure that I can still undo it and redo it, and then we're gonna weld the whole thing. Let's do it. Alrighty, so I welded it together and then ground it down so that way it was pretty smooth, and then now I'm gonna put on some rust fix, let that dry, and then it's time for bed liner. Looks good. This bar is a tricky thing to find. I wanted to do this with the rest of the suspension, but once again, tricky thing to find. Luckily, Bruce had it when I went to go pick up the front bumper, so now I'm able to put the sway bars on, and I'm really excited about this. I got all the hardware, also from these parts from Bruce, and then SMC as well. But I'm going to attempt to put these on. I have the 914 rubber bushings, which I've had for a while, just in anticipation of this part. But I'm going to be putting it in with some soap, and we'll see how successful I am, but I'm just going to hop on into it. Let me change position. the Karr and see how it looks, because you want this to be pretty much exactly even, so that way there's no like extra load on one side. I'm not a super measuring person, but I will be measuring it, but for now I'm gonna put it on the Karr, and then I'll measure, and I'll like take a mallet and I'll like slide the bar one way or another. The sway bar should protrude out like 3 millimeters from the like drop link hardware. So I'm just measuring that with some calipers. So the sway bar is on. This is the front sway bar is what everyone suggested I put on because apparently it drives so much better. So hopefully that's true, and I believe it is. It's gonna handle great. Now I'm gonna put the wheels back on, and yeah, project done.